Welcome, everybody, to the 4th episode of Revive Me Bro Gaming. This is Master Rein, and I'm joined by my best friend and the guy who revives me when I go Leroy Jenkins, Silly Squirrel. Silly,
What
how you doing today,
up?
bro? Yeah, man.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm just super excited for this episode.
Dude, it's a fun one, man, cuz it's a fun one, but after this year that freaking 50 months ago when freaking this 2020 started, we all thought it was going to be the best year ever. Like Halloween was like on a Friday or Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this year was a freaking trip, but thankfully we had video games to give us the escape that we needed.
Dude, if you're a video gamer and you ever wanted like a full year of I just want to play video games, this was the year.
This was your year as a gamer.
This was your year. As even though all this shit happened and and bad things are just happening all around, I think I've been in more games this year than I have since freaking college, and that was around 8 years ago. Yes, I just dated myself.
Anyways, but today we're going to be bringing you guys our top 3 games that got us through the freaking dumpster fire that was 2020. But first, a word from Silly.
PSA for the podcast. We are available in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can also find us on Instagram at ReviveMeBroGames and Twitter at ReviveMeBro. Remember to subscribe, leave a comment, hit us up on any of our social networks because we would love to hear from y'all, and your support means the world to us. Also, we're currently working on a Twitch channel, so we will put out some more information regarding that.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. We love you guys for it.
So, before we go to our top games, let's get started with our new segment, R&B News.
Let's get started with the news today. First up, this is more of a PSA to everybody as well. If you have a new PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, you have one of the new consoles, and you find that it's being really loud, and it's just kind of crashing a lot. Just know that other people have had issues with their consoles as well. They've been able to return them to Sony. For example, people with PlayStation 5 issues have been able to return them to Sony and get a new console. It's been somewhat hassle-free, but guys, if you have a new console, do not hold on to something that's defective.
Yep, I think it's really great. In the past, like the Red Ring of Death, it's just great that companies are now like taking helping us, the consumers, with anything that comes out defective. You should all know by now that anything that comes out, either video games or even tech, the first few iterations of it are probably not going to be perfect. And Sony and Xbox understand that. If anything's defective, you can now contact any of these companies and they will help you out with either sending you a new one or repairing your current console.
Yeah. Don't let the warranty expire. If it's defective, get it fixed. Up next, this is a little bit interesting for people who have HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, you will be happy to know that the entire Warner Brothers 2021 release, or at least the majority of it, is going to be on HBO Max.
Ooh.
Dune, Matrix 4, Wonder Woman 84. Come on, you guys, that's a big deal. However, are movie theaters about to freaking die? What do you think, Silly?
I think, God, I mean, if COVID didn't put up a few nails on that coffin, I think this one's just finishing up the job. I think this is probably the beginning of the end, unless theaters open up. I know that here in the Bay Area, the IMAX theater was opening up for Tenet, and so it's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. Nowadays we're watching movies in the comfort of our homes. It's just a lot safer. Yeah, you don't get the whole surround sound popcorn experience, but I'd rather watch movies in a pajama at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. It's mixed feelings. Even though I see the benefits of watching movies at home and just streaming paying $12 to stream the latest movie. There's something about going to the movie theaters that it's
a fun event. It's a fun event.
Exactly.
It's an outing. Yeah.
You go to the movies and you put on you not dress up, but you put on something nice. You go, you're probably gonna spend more on food than any other place ever, but but it's like you go, you watch the movie, you come out, and you talk about the movie. If you go with friends, you can talk about it. Like it's a social event. So, uh, you know,
It's sad to see it kind of die, but I mean, it's cool to have HBO Max at home and your friends can come over, and it's better time when your friends are over anyways. You guys can stop it to go to the bathroom, but once you open Pandora's box, can you really close it? Once
yeah.
this happens to theaters, can are we really gonna go back to theaters?
But here's the thing too. It's like a lot of the the revenues for movies, they come out from ticket sales.
Interesting.
So even
Interesting.
though you're gonna get a surge of subscribers in HBO Max or even Disney Plus because they did something similar with Mulan, like the rate of them going back and forth, like people doing like the free trial and then watching the movie and then exiting, or just paying for 1 month, or just paying for that one movie and then leaving, like it seems a lot more risky and fluctuating than it is to like a Friday night release of a movie and you go see it. Like it's a toughie. It's a toughie. I think eventually we
Mm-hmm.
will theaters will eventually die, but I'm kind of hoping not yet.
Not yet, yeah. Not hopefully not in our lifetime, right?
Yeah, seriously.
But talking about movies though that are coming out, some news that just dropped today is that Oscar Isaac, it looks like he's being casted as the role of Solid Snake in the new Metal Gear Solid movie. I say movies because I'm thinking a series is gonna happen, but yeah, Oscar Isaac played Ex Machina, was in Star Wars, as you guys know, played in Dune, or will play in Dune. Silly, what do you think about Oscar Isaac?
Um, I think he looks the part. I can see that he resembles like a young Solid Snake. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking of
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2, right? Uh, but I don't know. I need some convincing. I think eventually, kind of like Robert Pattinson. Like I think until we see Oscar Isaac with the Solid Snake sneaking suit and the bandana, then I might get convinced. But right now, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't see it. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
So talk about Robert Pattinson real quick. He kind of surprised me in Tenet. I'll say that. That actually kind of got me psyched for Batman. I'll say that. I'll say that. Um, but moving on to another bit of news that I'm sure every single gamer in the world cares about right now: the Cyberpunk 2077 release time.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so everybody, it's gonna be out very like by the time you guys listen to this podcast, I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk will either be coming out or will be out by then. It'll be out on PCs a solid like 5 to 7 hours then on console. But CD Projekt Red doesn't really want anybody to stream it December 9th. They want people to start streaming like December 10th, basically.
Which makes
Uh,
sense.
so what which makes sense because that way you don't get any spoilers and all the streamers kind of start at the same time and all that kind of stuff. So I totally get that. But to let everybody know, your boy Master Rain here is going to be streaming the entire thing from start to finish on our YouTube channel, perhaps also
Booyah.
on Twitch. Everything's going to be recorded. The entire playthrough is going to be recorded. So drop on in. You can check it out when I'm live. I'm going to be live, and it's all going to just stay on there. We'll have some fun things that we're gonna be doing on stream as well. And I'm gonna try to stream for as long as possible on the 10th for when it comes out. So if you're listening to this on December 10th, head over to YouTube. I'll probably be live. Um, Silly, yeah. So if you wanna. When we're on Cyberpunk and I'm playing on Cyberpunk, dude, you should totally drop in and drop in on the Discord and just chat with everybody on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your stream. I'm not planning on getting it just yet. I have still a couple of games that I need to beat before I dive into Cyberpunk for the rest of my life. Uh, so in the meantime, I'll probably be watching Master Rain stream, and knowing him, it's gonna be very very entertaining.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm still deciding on what the playthrough is going to be, but Yeah, get ready for some craziness, y'all. And then something here, it's kind of switching gears a little bit to something a little bit sadder, a little bit more frustrating, and that's the news of the freaking scalpers that have
Uh,
scalped pretty much everything, literally everything, since the freaking Switch earlier in this year. They've been scalping hard this year, man. Okay, okay, I'm getting frustrated,
dude, no, no, no,
but
no. Honestly, fuck them. Honestly, like it's annoying. Like ever since we can buy things on the internet, like scalpers, I swear to God, they don't want us to have a good time. Like I get the idea of like hustling, of buying things and then selling it at a higher price because there's a huge demand for it. I get it, but this is borderline being an asshole. No, sorry, it's not borderline.
yeah,
It is
it
being an
is. It is.
asshole.
It is. You're not even going yourself to a store or to places to wait in line to get anything. You have a bot that's doing all the work for you
Exactly.
nowadays.
It's not even the guy that just managed to like really buy things real quick and then he sells it. So which is, to be honest, I you can do whatever you want with whatever you buy,
Right.
really. But if you're
Right.
using AI to buy hundreds of these things and then just to sell them, like I
Thousands.
get it, you're gonna make a lot of money, but fuck you, dude. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like seriously, Sony and Microsoft should be coming after you guys because like, how are they not realizing that they're gonna miss out on a lot of subscription services being bought right now?
You're
Because
costing Sony and Xbox money, and even though you say that yes, they're multi-million dollar companies, they live and breathe off of these things. Like if they lose a
yeah,
lot of money, we get affected by it. You know, so
but yeah,
so
it's so
it's
terrible.
frustrating. And actually, I'm pretty sure Sony. I don't know if Xbox did this already, but I'm pretty sure Sony already is banning uh most of these scalpers or or something like that. God, I need to like
They're working on doing it. I know AMD did it, like was more careful when their graphics card came out, but even with them, it's like everything sold out so fast. And there is lack of stock due to COVID and lack of inventory and all that kind of stuff. But to everybody who's really trying to get a new console or really trying to get a new graphics card, just wait a little while because they are working on stock. You will get new stock soon. Just wait. Don't buy into the scalper market.
if there's anything I've learned when the Wii came out is that patience is your best friend. It's just take your time. It's not going anywhere. The fact that you have the console the first day doesn't mean you're like awesome or rad or anything. Like I get the excitement of playing the newest games and all that, but dude, the PlayStation 4 still does a good job, and so does the Xbox. And if you have a PC, why are you even rushing? So
Right? Yeah, exactly. All the games aren't even out yet. Like you have like Demon Souls, which is fun, but like that's not even a multiplayer game that people are getting good at or whatever. Once you get that game, you'll get crushed on it, and then you'll rage quit. So just wait.
yeah, you're gonna play Spider Man, which is also available for PlayStation 4, and then after that, what you're gonna play the rest of your PS4 library. So it's again, I want a PlayStation 5. I don't have one yet because of the scalpers, but at the same time, I'm like I'm more willing to wait, just because it's a new generation. It's gonna be years till the next generation. No rush for
Listen,
me.
you guys, if you're listening and you're a gamer, you are a part of the gaming community. And as a part of the gaming community, you get to vote with your dollar and your choice of where you're spending your money. And as a gamer, if you're buying from scalpers, you're only allowing scalpers to do what they're doing to continue on forever. So right now as a gamer, decide not to do this. Decide not to put your money into the scalper pockets. Just hold on, have a little bit of patience. I know it's really hard when you see the videos of all the cool stuff out there. Like I get it, but a little patience goes a long way.
Yeah, but going on, let's talk about some stuff that we actually do have control over, and that is the Game Pass releases.
Yes.
So, uh,
Game Pass releases. Round of applause to that.
woo.
Go ahead, Silly. Take us
So
away.
listen, like I said before in past podcasts, I have all of the consoles, but I love the fact that Game Pass constantly releases new games and you can play them for a measly $10 a month. Like it pays itself with just one game. So
It's
whenever we
wonderful.
do these news, I'm gonna try and like if there's anything that comes in off of Game Pass that's worth your time, I will recommend it, and hopefully you'll get Game Pass and apply
Mm,
and give Microsoft the its due. So
yes.
our recommendations for the latest Game Pass release are Doom Eternal, for obvious
Oh my
reasons.
god. Wow.
If you didn't want to buy Doom Eternal yet you still want to play it, well, now's your chance. You get on the Game
Now's your
Pass,
chance.
download Doom Eternal, and play it till you cancel the subscription. Also, a huge shout out, and this is actually fantastic, and I'm looking forward to play it. Is Remedy's Control, a very underrated shooter from the guys who made Max Payne and Max Payne 2 and Quantum Break. Uh, Control is a third-person shooter. That's all I'm gonna say. Play it.
Play it.
On the next one, we have Super Hot Mind Control Delete Edition. This is a first-person shooter that is more of a puzzle game than anything else. I think if you're tired of your Call of Duties and your Battlefields or just first-person shooter overall, I think you should give this one a shot because it'll provide something different. You know, it's very cool. It'll make you feel like a badass. Think Max Payne, but more with like Max Payne with Tetris for shooting. I don't know how to put it. Anyway, Super Hot Mind Control Delete Edition. But if you want to play with friends, we also have Gang Beasts. It's a great game for four players playing on the couch or online. It's think of it as Mario Party without the board.
Ah, fun.
And without the games, and it's just you and the four players beating each other up. Yeah. But the same intensity of a Mario Party where you just hate the other person.
Oh, nice.
Great game to play with everyone, either again online or right next to you if that's available to you, of course. Highly recommend it. And then last but not least, Rage 2. And another ID Software game that should get a little bit of love. It's a fantastic first-person shooter. Its story is okay, but to be honest, the gameplay here is what really shines. So, just to reiterate, Doom Eternal, Control, Super Hot Mind Control Delete, Gang Beast, and Rage 2 are our recommendations for the next release of Game Pass.
Wonderful. Those are some excellent games there, and like everybody, we stand the Game Pass. Like, go check that out. It is incredible that Microsoft is putting out so much. It's freaking Doom Eternal, you guys. Um, but yeah, so that's it for today's R&B news. That's it for today's news cycle. Next time, we'll try to bring you the latest, like Silly said, with the Game Pass and what's going on out in the gaming world as well. But yeah, let's get started with our top 3 games of 2020. Like we said before, 2020 was freaking crazy freaking year, but at least it gave us the time to play a lot of good games. Silly Squirrel, I'm really excited to hear about what your top 3 are.
So the first game that I'll talk about is The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2 this year, besides all the controversy surrounding the story and among other things that I don't really want to mention, The Last of Us 2 was one of those games where the moment I booted it up, I played that for hours and hours and hours. Like, it's been a long time that a game has kept me up till 5 in the morning just because I want to see, like, I want to go further and further and further. The gameplay is just as good as the first one. The story, I think the first game is it has a better story overall, a more cohesive story. But I do like the ambition and the direction that the second story was going for. And I do believe that if you play the first one and then you play this one right away, a lot of stuff will make more sense. That one scene in the beginning that everyone talks about, it didn't shock me. Like, okay, it did shock me, but it didn't like piss me off. I was shocked in the fact that of how soon everything came, but I expected that because I played the first game. Hell, the first game alludes to something like this. All I'm saying is like, Last of Us 2, phenomenal game. Story could have maybe been a little bit better, but it did enough for me to just keep playing and playing and playing. And honestly, it was an amazing game. One of my top 2020 games.
I think Naughty Dog Studios and the people who worked on the graphics and the sound design for that game deserve so much credit. just so much credit because the game looks amazing on the PlayStation 4, and everybody says just how lost they are in the atmosphere of the game.
And yeah, and also for their bravery. I mean, they did a lot of things that I thought honestly were very brave on their part. But I thought that all of these characters were very well written. They were very interesting. Their story arcs were pretty great, you know, and the way the story ended was fantastic. I think everyone should play it and give it a shot. I think it's very unfair for people not to play it just because of what they read on the internet. Like, go out there and play it.
You know, I really think they would have been less attacked, Naughty Dog, if they weren't going after YouTube channels that were just kind of being like, "Oh, we don't like this game already," because they read the leaks. But then the channels started having their videos go down, and then those channels would say, "Look, they're attacking us. They're going after my videos. They're going after like this
True,
content that I'm
true.
producing, they're not doing it correctly." And so Naughty Dog and Sony really got thrown under the bus because of that. And I really think just kind of like, let the content creators talk about what they're going to talk about. As a gamer, if you don't want leaks,
Yeah,
don't look for
exactly.
them. Don't
Don't.
just like shut them out. Don't go look for them. Don't talk about them. Don't even promote them. Right. But if you want to have the conversation with people, and some company is trying to stop you, then I can see why people are going to get really pissed
And
about that.
using the excuse of like, oh, if I go into Twitter, people will like spoil shit for me. Well, it's like, don't unfollow them, silence them. I don't know, like, or just don't be on Twitter. Like, if if you don't
Yeah,
want to
like
get spoiled,
exactly.
you can actually very easily not get spoiled. Honestly.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. Like today, for example, I haven't seen today's Mandalorian episode, and all the YouTube channels are starting to post about it, and I'm like, nope,
yeah,
nope,
same,
nope,
same.
ignore, ignore,
Same. And
ignore.
granted, they did spoil
So
something for me. So I'm preaching. I'm saying this out of experience that there was someone that posted a photo of an episode that I haven't watched, and I'm like, really? But I get it. It's gonna happen. But when it came to like The Last of Us, I was able to not read anything about it. I didn't watch any of the reviews. I just bought the game and played it, and I enjoyed every single thing the game had to offer because I was able to keep my distance. But anyway, great game. Go play it. It's
great.
wonderful.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not as classic as the first one, but still up there when it comes to the games.
And worth mentioning, absolutely, as a top game. I mean, like so many
My
people loved it.
second game, and I had to think about this one really hard, is Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. Now, I am a soccer nut. I live and die but watching soccer games. I have a collection of probably 35 to 40 jerseys. I honestly haven't counted because I'm embarrassed. But when it came to like deciding FIFA 2020 or Pro Evolution Soccer, Pro Evolution just is exactly what I needed. I was sick and tired of the FIFA gameplay loop. 17, 18, 19, and 20 are basically the exact same games. Granted, even though I put a lot of hours on FIFA 2020, it was Pro Evolution Soccer 2020 that really, really, really made me enjoy playing a soccer game. It was definitely more
Interesting.
tactical. It's definitely more. It's more of a sim soccer game than it is an arcade game. Unlike FIFA,
Interesting.
the AI plays in a way that is very realistic. They go through lanes, they open themselves up, they look for those passes. Unlike in FIFA, where it's all more strings attached, like somehow the AI is. If you play FIFA 2020, there's this sense of repetition that you know that if you do certain things, you're gonna get a goal, because you're also abusing the fact that some of the animations aren't as they should be on FIFA, but to put it lightly. While in Pro
Interesting.
Evolution,
Ah,
the AI actually constantly switches to adjust to the way you play. So when you score a goal, it feels earned. Now, I know that a lot of FIFA aficionados will say that it's the same with FIFA, but to be honest, I don't think so. I mean, just look at any highlight reels for FIFA 2020 Ultimate Teams, and you'll see that a lot of
yeah.
people do like a lot of tricks and score goals from half field, or just yeah, it's because they already know exactly how the game works. Well, with Pez, you try doing that, and Pez would be like, "What are you trying to do? That's not how you play."
Uh, so there's certain exploits that you can take
Yeah,
advantage of
and
in
granted,
FIFA,
I
huh?
I love FIFA, I really do, but I got sick and tired of not only playing online, but of the lack of diversity with the modes and the career mode. And PES provided a rest, a challenge, among
Yeah.
other things. It's so
So, real quick, for our friends who don't know, can you quickly explain the difference between PES and FIFA?
FIFA, arcade soccer game. PES, simulated soccer game.
That's an interesting way to put it. Okay, so that I think for our audience who doesn't really know the difference in those soccer games,
Yep.
there you have
And
it.
then my last game on the top three, and man, I really had to think really hard about this one. And I know we're gonna have an honorable mentions, but Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is definitely one of the
Ghost
top
of
three games of
Tsushima.
2020. I think everyone's top game.
Yeah, if you have a Sony PlayStation, you played it and you loved it, or at least you
Yeah, I
should
have a
have.
cousin who is not really a completionist, but he completed Ghost of Tsushima because he loved it that much. He got the platinum on Ghost of Tsushima, which I was very, very impressed with.
That's
Because,
incredible.
geez, I look at the list of things you need to do, and oh my god, I'm not even close.
It's a lot.
I
It's
have
a
yet to beat
lot.
Ghost of Tsushima, but my
But
experience with Ghost of Tsushima, very similar to Last of Us 2, where it's like one of the few games where I just keep playing and playing and playing and going back and getting better. And it's almost like it's the Assassin's Creed game that I wish Assassin's Creed was. You know,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, and it's so funny that Silly says that he hasn't beaten the game. Yeah, but he's still in Act Two, but he has like
oh
all the
yeah,
things
yeah.
unlocked.
My guy
So
is my guy is super
just so you
powerful.
know how
My
much he's
guy
actually
is
played.
OP,
Yeah.
but I'm barely in Act 2. But at this point, if
Yeah.
you put me to fight with Mongols, I'm like, you're dead. You know. Yeah. I got that charm, the items charm, really early in the game, and man, I leveled up so quick. But
Oh,
that's how I've been
nice. That's
enjoying the game.
awesome.
So those are my top three: Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. Master
Awesome.
Rain, what about you?
Oh yes. So 2020, boy, there was one game that like I was like singing the music for and I was humming it and I was like dreaming about it for like the longest time, and that was Final Fantasy
Oh
7
yeah.
remake. I have been waiting for that remake ever since I was a kid and saw the Advent Children movie. You knew that like that game could be done and like like in the 3D animation that it is, and you can be running around with the sword as Cloud. And when you finally got it, oh my god, my wife lost me for like a solid week, and I beat it so fast because it was just so good and it was so much fun. And yeah, there's some controversies with the ending and the story that I'm not going to get into, and there's some graphical issues that I noticed that I was like, I'm going to ignore it because I'm loving this game just so freaking much. But dude, Tifa looked incredible. Barrett looked like Barrett. Let's see. Aerith looked just amazing. The weapons, the summonings, bro. I cannot like say enough about how much I loved it. And then the final fight at the end, my god, that was so awesome. I am currently playing the game through on hard again,
Mhm.
like the save game plus and all that kind of stuff. Didn't really get that far in it because like other games have come out
Yeah.
ever since then, but I pretty much got everything. I got all the summonings, um, all the
Mhm.
weapons. I got all the materia and leveled up
Oh my
pretty much all
lord.
of them as well. So yeah, dude, I went hard. I went ham, and I couldn't believe some of the things, like going into the town where the gym is at, and then going into the gym. Like I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Oh, and if anybody is hearing right now, I have my little baby Yoda in the background. So if you hear baby Yoda, that's what it is. That's what's going on. But moving on. So Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god, I loved it. And my baby was super young. I was like humming like Eris's theme to her because I was like trying to get her to sleep and stuff, and like it was fun. Anyways, moving on. Uh huh.
Dude, I have the game. I haven't started it yet, but I mean, I'm kind of like Ghost of Tsushima is
Right.
taking over my life. So I will get
Right.
to it, and hearing you get all excited about it, like, yes, I've played Final Fantasy games before. I've beaten 10. Seven's one of those games where it's like I want to give it its proper due. So
Yeah.
once I beat certain games, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna dive in, and I'm glad you have
Oh
that on
yeah,
this
it's
list.
one of the it's one of those that's like if you own a PlayStation, you should play it through. It is such an amazing experience. Such a beautiful game as well. Um so moving on to my next one of my top 3 is Minecraft Dungeons. So
Oh.
kind of a yeah, kind of you guys know that if you listen to our first podcast, you guys know that I really like
Mhm.
Minecraft. Minecraft Dungeons was this Diablo-esque kind of RPG kind of game. Very simple in what you do and how you level up. You find your armor and you find a weapon and you can add like you have your attachments that you can combine with your armor to get better gear and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. But I played it with my wife a lot, and we both love Minecraft so much. And one of the things we love doing is going in and just killing hordes of zombies and skeletons and creepers, hordes and hordes of them. It's so much so that we created what we call the slaughterhouse in Minecraft. It's just a giant square building that just creates a lot of shade for
Mhm.
us so we can get the monsters to spawn in a flat area. So she can go with the sword fighting everything, and I can go on my horse shooting everything with the bow. But that's what we did in Minecraft. So Minecraft Dungeons let us fight hordes and have really cool weapons. Uh, Erin, my wife, ended up finding Thor's freaking hammer in the game pretty
What?
early on, and it was like an actual hammer that looked like Thor's hammer, but the power up on it was like it was electric. So every time like she like smashed the ground, it was like pulsing like electricity and all this stuff. Dude, so freaking cool. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited that they have DLC that comes out for it a lot. So it's cool that they're updating the game. I haven't played it in a little while now because of again everything that we have to play, but the last time I got into it, they had updated like the main area with new shops and stuff like that, and I was like, this is great. Like I love it when developers are constantly updating their games. And now my third top 3 game, third top 3, my third game of the top 3 is, can you guys freaking guess it? It is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
Ghost Ghost of Tsushima. Yo, I cannot say enough about this game, and thankfully Silly said a lot about this game already. So I won't have to say too much about it. But from the very first time I turned it on, I felt like I was playing the coolest anime, and I felt like I was the main character. And not a lot of games make me feel like I'm playing like the coolest story and I'm the main character. I mean, there's a lot of them,
Mhm.
but not a lot of them are coming out all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But my wife, she was playing The Sims, and I started up Ghost of Tsushima. She looks over at the TV and she's like, "Oh my god, that is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my life." And dude, I'm playing on the PS4 now. Like the reason she said that is because like the colors and like the music, and it was just like everything. It just felt like we were both like, I feel like we are in the coolest anime story right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I
Like
agree. I agree.
absolutely incredible, and the game is so immersive. And in Legends mode, honestly, like it shouldn't be free. Like Legends mode should have cost $5 or something because it is too good to be free. That's what I'll say about the Ghost of Tsushima. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to say more in our review of the game.
Yeah, yeah, no, we can't like praise it enough. Ghost of Tsushima, yes, it came out late in 2020, but my God, like it's I've watched more samurai movies than ever because of Ghost of Tsushima. Like Akira Kurosawa knew his shit.
Yeah,
Which, speaking
absolutely,
of, if you have HBO
absolutely.
Max, you get to see most of his filmography, or at least his most famous movies.
What? Are you for real
Yeah,
right
dude.
now? I know what I'm gonna watch
So
tonight after the Mandalorian.
yeah, watch Yojimbo. Highly recommend Yojimbo or Seven Samurai. But that one's a little long.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So yeah, everybody, those were the top 3 games that Silly and I just really loved this year. It's really funny that Ghost of Tsushima made it on both of our lists, but honestly, like as you can tell, you can kind of tell about a little bit about who we are as gamers and what we kind of love to play because of these top 3 games. But I mean, in all 3 of these games, like or all like I guess whatever the number is. We've poured a ton of
Yep.
hours into these games this year, tons and tons and tons of hours. But you know what though? Like as you can tell, I mean these aren't the only games that we're playing this year. These are just our top
Yep.
three. There were a couple other games out there that we're definitely going to mention right now that I mean you guys should definitely think about if you're into the type of game.
Yep.
Silly, you want to hit us with your honorable mentions?
All right. So my honorable mentions are Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Dragon Age Origins. Yeah, I know this game is old, but I just got it this year because I really, really, really wanted to play an old school. Oh my god, I can't believe that. An old school RPG. So Age of Empires 2, Dragon Age Origins, Night in the Woods on the Switch, and Into the Breach.
Nice.
So as you can see, these games are a little more on the RPG strategy side of things. Age of Empires 2, just to give you an idea, my wife, who isn't a video gamer, has played 70 hours of Age of Empires 2 this year.
Oh my god. Wow. Shout out to that number. That's amazing.
So if she's played 70 hours of Age of Empires 2, you don't want to know how many hours I've played Age of Empires 2 with my friends.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, your wife will kick my butt at Age of
She's
Empires
good.
too, though.
She's good. Like she's not much of a gamer, but I had to get better and research Age of Empires 2's strats in order for me to like beat her. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
But actually, just last night we had a huge 2 hour and 24-minute game with the rest of the crew, Luis included, of course. And
Shout out to Luis.
Night in the Woods, I recommend to anyone who wants to experience a very well thought story. The main character was very relatable and very close to home to some of the things I experienced, especially after graduating college. I don't want to give too much away, but like Night in the Woods is one of those games where I think you should definitely play, if you're going to transition between after college and now adult life. I think you should definitely play this game. Into the Breach is just a really good strategy game a la Fire Emblem, and if you've been following us since episode 1, you know that I love myself some Shining Force Fire Emblem type of game. So Into the Breach just really scratched that itch of mine. Again, Dragon Age Origins is just an old school RPG that I really wanted to play. I bought the Xbox 360 version to play it on my Xbox One, and it's fantastic. Like, yes, it's a little dated now. I can't believe I said that, but it's a little dated, and it does feel like Mass Effect 1, but it's exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say I should have played this on PC, but I just wanted to play it on the console. Like sit on the couch and just enjoy the story. Those are my honorable mentions. What about you, Master Rein?
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so honorable mentions this year. First one, you guys already heard about this one this year. The Forest.
Mm-hmm.
This game made it to my honorable mentions, not only for being one of the funnest survival sort of like simulation story kind of games that I've played in a while, and being so hardcore horror kind of, it's not hardcore horror, but being so bloody and the way it was, I loved it. It was good, especially to play like 1 a.m. with you and with Luis and with Jonathan, just like going into the caves. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, and then a shout out to my wife for putting up with me while playing that game, because I woke her up more than once by screaming. But it also makes it my honorable mention because it was probably the game that I played the most on PC this year. Because I was able to play with friends, and it was the thing that like getting into buying my PC, playing with friends online again. It was like this is what I've been missing out on from not being on PC gaming, like Discord and all this stuff where people are just chatting, and I really, really missed it. And back in the day when I was playing Team Fortress 2 a lot, I was part of Couch Athletics, and like every Friday there'd be like 30 people on and playing like Team Fortress 2 for hours, and I really missed that vibe, and The Forest really brought that back for me, and it was so much fun. The next one that I'm definitely gonna mention going along with the idea of like playing online with computer and friends like that is CS:GO and Call of Duty. CS:GO was a game that I've been really honestly wanting to get into forever. It's just that I never actually had a computer that would run it well enough for me to get into it. So now that I do, like I'm really enjoying just getting wrecked at that game because it's something there's something so there's like a skill level that you know that you're facing against somebody that like they put their thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in this
Yeah.
game and like you can get there. You just gotta put the training in. And then Call of Duty was something that was kind of like a really fun end of the year kind of thing that happened here because my sister and brother-in-law are currently staying with
Mhm.
me, and we got my sister to play Call of Duty, and it was so incredible. We got her to freaking get on Plunder. We got her to do co-op. We got her to get on multiplayer. We got her to trash talk. It was so much fun. And I'm like, yo, game with your family. Like game with your friends, game with your family, find games to play together, find games to get good at together cuz it's a good experience. And especially right now where we can't really be meeting face to face to go partying and whatever, get on an online game, pour yourself a drink, have a laugh, just have a good time, because that's really what gaming's about.
I'm with
And then
you.
my
I'm with you
last,
there, dude. I think going back to like you talking about the forest and COD and all that. It's like the one thing that most of these honorable mentions have as a common denominator is that we've played it with friends and family. You know, it's
yeah,
it's definitely like this is the time where you can get people to try out things. Try out games and
right.
movies and all that stuff. So I mean
I did this year as well. I tried out something new.
yeah, and it's like like Master Rain here, who just started PC gaming this year. Like, he was he's we were able to play like a game like The Forest, which is even though you can play it on consoles nowadays, like PC is the way to go for The Forest, honestly.
Yeah, which this actually is my brings me to my last honorable mention. The reason why I got into PC gaming was probably a game that barely any of you have ever even heard of, and it's called Electronauts. And this is a VR game. I got it on PSVR because I got the PSVR, you guys, back in June. I haven't mentioned it because like honestly, I'm gonna get into VR and into PC VR here real soon. I don't know when, but I got the PSVR and I fell in love with VR, and I was like, this is some next gen feeling kind of stuff. Like this feels so immersive. And there was this music game that I saw a trailer for, and I was like, what the heck is this? They're playing my favorite artist, Odessa, on this game. What is this game? I need to know what this game is about. And I saw that it's a game that lets you kind of like DJ. It lets you mix tracks and like hit beats and play around with the song. And I was like, wait, it lets you do this in VR? I have to try this. Like, I just have to try this. And I played it for like, I don't know, I would do it like for like 3 hours at a time every time, up until I got super dizzy in the VR and I had to take it off. But I realized something in the PSVR, and it was that VR is amazing, but I'm not sure if Sony is going to keep up with VR as it should. And if I'm going to actually get serious about playing VR, the best place to go for that is to do PC VR. And if I'm going to do PC VR, I need to get a really good gaming computer. But the only way I can get a good gaming computer if I just bite the bullet and spend the money and do it. So that's when in last June, July, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna sell the PlayStation VR. I'm gonna try to make as much money as I can. I'm gonna put this money towards a gaming computer, and when I can, I'm gonna buy the Valve Index, and I'm gonna get into some serious VR. But because of this PSVR game, Electronauts, because it made me love VR so much, it's the reason that I bought my computer this year, and it's the reason why we ended up playing The Forest, and now we're playing CS:GO and so many games together. So one of those things that's like the way that it worked out. It's kind of incredible how it worked out at the end, but it's such a simple game. Barely, probably no one has heard of it,
Yeah, me neither.
Electronauts.
And I'm like,
But like,
what is this game?
but but it has some of my favorite artists. It has some of my favorite artists in it, and you can mix their music. And like, I did it for literally hours and hours at a time, and I fell in love with VR. And like I said, I realized I had to get into PC VR.
And that concludes our podcast for today. Thank you, Master Rain, for joining me here. Y'all can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Revive Me Bro Games. We can also hit us up on our Facebook pages. And we are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. We would love to hear from you guys. Give us a shout out, comments, send us a message, whatever it is that you feel comfortable in terms of communicating with us. We would love to hear your opinion, honestly, because not only do we love doing this, but we do it, for you guys and for you to enjoy some wholesome content, hopefully. But next time we'll bring you some more gaming news. We're probably gonna be talking also about like what gaming monitors you guys should buy for your new consoles or for your latest PC build. And finally, also, we're working on our next review. So I'm not going to give out what we're going to do just yet. I'm pretty sure if you've been listening lately, you already have an idea.
You might know, yeah.
And remember, everyone, heal your teammates before they die. See ya.